Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing how I do my makeup when I wear my mask to work. So I actually only have makeup from like here up. So I will show you how I do my base, what face products I use, and then I will be doing a demo on this eye look. It was requested, so I will be showing you how I did this. This is the eye look that I had on in a video a few days ago, so that sounds interesting. Definitely stick around, make sure you're subscribed, and yeah, if you want to see how I put makeup on having to wear a mask all day, then just keep on watching. Hopefully this is close enough. I had to make some room on my desk, so hopefully you guys can see. I've already primed and moisturized, and then keep in mind I'm only going to be putting makeup from like here up, from like the middle of my nose down, and like this area isn't going to have anything on it because when the mask is on, all of that is covered. And then like most of my masks, the inside's white. Now granted, I do wash them, but I didn't want them to be all like stained and gross, so keep that in mind. But I am still going to prime. I put moisturizer and eye cream on, but I'm going to go in with this is the Professional, the Benefit, the hydrating one. I got this in a BoxyCharm, and I've only used it a couple of times, so I've been using this a little bit to kind of see how I like it. It is a little more hydrating than I would say the e.l.f. I don't know, honestly, if this blurs my pores as much as the e.l.f. one. I still kind of worry about this area because this is where my pores are more pronounced, but with the mask on, they're covered, so it's not a huge deal. And then I've been spraying a little bit of the Pixi Glow Mist before as like a primer also. I do have one of the Smashbox primer waters that I forget about and I don't hardly use ever anymore. I used to, but that one's not a bad one either. And then I am going to use a little bit of the mattifying primer still. This is just the Rimmel Stay Matte. I swear I've had this for 2 years. I got it, it's full size. I got it in an Ipsy and I just use it in my T-zone. So I've had this tube forever, but it doesn't smell bad, so I still use it. And I still put it here and around in here because I found that with the mask I get like oily if I don't, and then I break out. So I've been trying to putting the mattifying primer, even though I'm not really putting anything on top of it, has seemed to make a difference. I feel like my moisturizer is making stuff pill up a little bit. And I will say I do like this one better. I have one from Huda Beauty, the Matte Perfection. I think I like the Rimmel one better. It just seems to mattify more. Okay, and then I'm gonna go in with a little bit of the e.l.f. Putty Primer, just the illuminating one. Okay, so just because I feel like, even though you can't really see these, I'm self-conscious about my pores being a little more pronounced. I'm just gonna put a little bit on my forehead because it's glowy and you do see my forehead, so there is that. So then next, we're gonna go in with my concealer. So first I use my color corrector. This is the Pixi Correction Concentrate in Peach. Let me get out. I put some new brushes in here. I'm gonna have to figure out a separate spot for them. They're too short and they're like falling down into the cup. I have a smaller one that I can probably get out. So I just take a little bit of this, and you don't need a lot. Just to kind of cancel out. And I have hit pan on this. You can kind of see the hole in the bottom. Becca makes one that I guess is just as good, and I thought about getting it and trying it, but I don't need two products that do the exact same thing. This one's not super cheap. It's $24, but I think I will repurchase the Pixi one just because I like it. So that already, I think, makes a difference. And then I go in with a concealer that's a little bit darker than my skin tone. This is the Neutrogena Hydra Boost. It's got like a hydrating core in the center, and I take that same brush. Because the problem, if your circles are really dark, if you just go in with like the color corrector, I mean, sometimes that's enough, but my circles are so dark because the problem I was having is I was just using the color corrector and then a brightening concealer, so I wasn't actually concealing. So this is my conceal, like true conceal step, and then I'll go in and brighten, and it makes a big difference. And then if I have any, sometimes I'll get a little bit of like redness on my nose and up in here, and I'll just take whatever is left to kind of help, and then I try and blend. Because it is a little bit darker of a shade, I try and make sure it's blended out. And then for the brightening, I've just been using the e.l.f. Hydrating Concealer. I do like this one. I actually like it over the Tarte Shape Tape. Just because I feel like it is a little bit hydrating, and that's all I put. A little bit goes a long way, and then I use a brush because I get more coverage. You can use a sponge, but again, my circles are very dark, so I don't necessarily need to remove any product. The sponge, if you feel like you've got too much on, the sponge will help get rid of soak up excess. And then I'm just wiping it around to kind of give me a little bit of a base around for my eyebrows. I feel like my eyebrow products don't go on as well if it's just on bare skin. That could just be like a psychological thing. I'm sure they work fine. And then this also helps cancel out any discoloration that you have on your lids. And I still go back and prime my eyelids, but it gives me a little bit more. So then I just take this up. And I take, again, the excess just down the sides because I am going to put some bronzer on. So it just kind of gives me a little bit of a base. And then if there's any redness. Okay, and then for powder right now, I've just been using my number 7. It looks gross. The packaging is like chrome, so it shows every little fingerprint. And so I go in with a small brush initially to set. I do prefer to use a loose powder under my eyes just because it's lighter. I've heard from my makeup artists that you shouldn't go in with a pressed powder under your eyes because it's a heavier formula. It could be too heavy for under the eyes, but I'm not using a ton, so I've been doing it anyway, even though like I said, you probably should use a translucent one under the eye, or not translucent, like loose powder, that's the word. So then you can kind of see where my nose is bare, but I have to wear my mask all like continuously when I'm at work, so unless I'm in the back. So the only people that see like from here down are my coworkers, and I've had them tell me that they can't really tell that I don't have makeup on my whole face because I'm fortunate my skin doesn't have a lot of discoloration. I don't have a lot of breakouts. I don't have a lot of red spots. And then at the very end, I'm going to go in with my Makeup Revolution, the Skin Finish, and this is in Opal Essence. They have this one and a deeper one, I believe. They may have a third one. I know they have at least 2 if you're got a deeper skin tone than me. I'm pretty fair. This just gives a little bit of a glow. All right, and then I am gonna set it. I've been going in with my Cover FX. This is very glittery. Some people don't like it, but I like the glow that it gives. And then I've been going in with a little bit of the Watermelon Glow Recipe just to get rid of the powdery look. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry for a minute. I'm going to do my eyebrows off camera really quick, and I'll be right back. For brows, what I've been using lately is the Iconic, and it's got like spray and dust on it. What is this? The Sculpt and Boost, the eyebrow cushion. And then I go in with a little bit of brow powder after, and then the pencil in this Tarte Sketch and Set is not, I need light brown, but I like the gel side, so that's what I've been doing. I feel like this eye is not as dark as the other side. I didn't put as much powder because I go in with the cushion and just kind of sketch it out. I try and go in with a light hand because it is technically dark for me, but then I go in with the blonde powder. If I don't put enough on one side or the other, then they don't come out looking similar. And then, let's see, let's get that. So let's do some contour. So I'm going to take the Chocolate Soleil bronzer out of my holiday kit that I got this past Christmas. This is one of my favorite bronzers. This was probably the second like contour I ever had. I started out with the Wet n Wild one, and then I got like a Point Perk of this, and so I used this for a long time. The original one that I had, I finally had to throw it away because it didn't smell bad, but I felt like it wasn't working as well. Like it was a little bit starting to get a little patchy. So I like to go in and contour with a matte, and then I go in and blend it out with a shimmery bronzer to bronze. So I'm going to use the Chocolate Gold. We got one of these in a BoxyCharm. I saved mine just because I own it. This one I had already. I got it in a Too Faced mystery bag, and I do really like it. Like I said, I've been doing this for a while, and this was a pro tip to go in with the matte contour and then blend it out with a kind of shimmery, satiny, some sort of, you know, not matte bronzer, and that kind of gives you a more natural sun-kissed glow. It looks a little heavy, but I went in with a little more bronzer than I normally do. And then for highlight, I'm just going to use the highlight in this little duo, and this is called Angel Wings. Again, this was their little like holiday snowman sugar cookie person, one of Too Faced holiday sets. The only thing out of the set that I didn't keep was the eyeshadow palette. I have the bronzer and highlighter right here. As I said, it's the Chocolate Soleil, the original one, which is good. And then I like this highlighter. It's a nice, like, more natural, not over the top. I haven't been doing my nose because you don't see it. So I've just, really all you see is the top, like right here, maybe a little bit, but I've been doing a little bit more on my cheeks just so that it doesn't look quite so odd when I take my mask off. And then I am going to put a little bit of blush. We'll do the blush quad that came in that set. I think I'm going to go in with Pink Christmas. It's the shimmery, more shimmery one. And again, you don't really see the blush. This is more so when I take the mask off, or if I have to run in somewhere and I don't have my mask on. I've been trying to wear it all the time. I wasn't, I'll say in the beginning, because like our Walmart doesn't make people wear them, but I've been trying to since I've been back at work. I'm one that tries to go early in the morning when nobody's in there. Okay, so that just gives a little bit of color. And then finally I'll go in with, this is the All-Nighter spray from Urban Decay. I need to open my second bottle soon. Okay, let's clear some space. Okay, and then we'll do the eye look. So I'm going to prime. Just going to use my MAC paint pot. I use the one in soft ochre just because it's basically, soft ochre has a little bit of a yellow undertone and it's basically the same color as my skin. Soft ochre was a popular shade on YouTube. And I don't know if everybody just had that skin tone or they just liked the color, because they do have a pretty good variety of colors to match people's skin tones, but it seemed like soft ochre was the shade, and that's, I looked at colors and that's the one that just seemed like it matched. Like I said, it's basically my eyelid color. Get out my glitter glue. Okay, so I'm going to be recreating the eye look that I did the other day. I had a request for it, so I'm going to be using the Jaclyn Hill palette. I think I have an original one. I don't know. I've had this palette for a couple of years. I bought it right after the Vault palettes came out, so I don't know if I have the original formula or not. I like my palette. It works good, so again, I don't know if I've got the original one or not. So let me move, get out my color switch. So in between, if I'm using the same brush, I'm going to color switch. I do that in all of my videos. So if you don't see me doing it and I'm using the same brush over and over, I'm color switching. Okay, so to start off, the shades are on the back. I'm not going to keep looking, that'll take forever. I'm going to go in with this dark brown to start. It's on the bottom, third one from the right. So we're going to start. Let's do the outer corner. I did this look for work. I think it was a Saturday. I think that's when I uploaded the video too. I was going to wear like a mustardy shirt because we can wear jeans and, you know, not black and gray or white. We can wear whatever color on the weekends. And our panel, our electrical panel at work was having issues. So we didn't have, Friday night, we didn't have air conditioning. They came in to fix it and come to find out that the panel was like partially melted. So needless to say, we were closed on Saturday and Sunday. We're closed today. I was supposed to be off. Today's Monday. I was supposed to be off on Monday anyway. And then I'm off on Tuesday also. Those Monday and Tuesday were supposed to be my days off anyway. So recreating the look. So I had just gotten done with my makeup and then I got a call that we weren't going to be open. So then I filmed. Okay. And took my makeup off. So then I'm gonna, initially I went in with the mustard shade, but I ended up having to go back and blend it out. So I'm gonna do it correctly this time. We're gonna go in with this lighter brown shade. Yeah, when I did it, I don't know what I was thinking. I just went straight in with the mustard shade and then ended up having to go back in with this color in between. So I put a little bit of color down and then I'm gonna, hopefully this comes out. I'm sure it's not gonna look exactly the same. Hopefully it looks close. I go in with a blending brush and then the mustard is this one on this corner. This, like I said, the shades are in the back. I don't know. I hate that Morphe doesn't put the shade names on the inside of the palette. It's really annoying. When they do have them on the inside, it's on like the clear sheet, so then you still have to reference. For a normal person, like, doesn't care about the names, like that's, fine, but when you film, like, people want to know what the name of the color is called, typically. So see, that blends out way better. Yeah, when I did it initially, I put the mustard on top of that dark brown. There was like a line you could see. So then I had to go back in with that mid shade. So doing it the way I should have done it the first time. Okay. So I like this palette because you see, I didn't have to blend much. It just kind of blends itself. So then for brow bone, and then on the lid, it's going to be this color right here. I said that's the same color I'm going to put on my lid here, but I want to highlight the brow bone, and then I don't add any more product, and then I just go around. I am going to tap a little bit right now, but I just go around, and just so that there's not like a weird line with the brow bone shade. And then I'm going to go in with a little blending brush. I'm going to take the black in the palette, just a little bit, and I'm going to put just a little bit on the bottom down in here. Not taking it too far up. I just want to deepen up that outer corner a little bit. And then the initial brush that I used, and I'm not adding any more product. Kind of blend that out a little bit. And then the medium brown, not the dark one, just a little bit on the edge. Come in here, and then I'll add a little bit more of the mustard. Just so that it doesn't look like I literally just slapped black on my eyelid. But it deepens it up. Okay. Then I'm going to take a little bit of the NYX glitter glue. I don't know that you necessarily need this. I've kind of gotten into the habit of doing this step, and I feel like it makes the glitters pop. Sometimes I'll go in with concealer. I like the e.l.f. regular camo concealer. I've been doing pretty good lately, and my eyelid hasn't been super messy, but so I haven't felt like I need to do the concealer step, but this just gives me a little bit of a tack. And the shimmers just stick better to it. I went in with just a flat brush, and so it's the same shade that we put under the brow bone. And just put it all over the lid. And the inner corner. It'll come down in here also. So this, the shimmers in this palette are pretty good. This is definitely one of Morphe's better palettes for sure. It really aggravates me that Morphe is so inconsistent. It's a crapshoot whether or not you're going to get a good palette or not. And then I'm going to take, I'm trying to remember what I did. I think I put a little bit of this gold. So where are we at? The second one from the top on the far right when you're looking at the palette. And that's going to go just out here. And then when I blend, I flipped the brush, I cleaned the brush off, but you take the light shade and you drag it into the dark. I don't go the other direction. That kind of helps me blend without taking the color too far that way. And then that mustard shade that we used, just a little bit, just on the edge here. And then this one I'm taking the other direction just because I don't need a ton of it. I just want to kind of soften that line. Hopefully you can see, I know I'm pretty far back. This palette's kind of large and it takes up quite a bit, and I want you to be like really be able to see what I'm doing. So that's it for the top. Like, it's pretty easy eye look. So for the bottom, I'm gonna take this, think I just got dog hair on my face. This burnt orange shade, and then I put this copper shimmer on top of it. On like a chubby little brush. If you've watched my videos before, this is pretty much the only type of brush that I use on the lower lash line. And I didn't end up putting anything in the waterline just because I ended up not having to go anywhere. And that shimmer is going to go right on top of it. And then I'm going to take just a little bit of the mustard shade and go below it just to blend it out. So that's it. I am going to do the other eye off camera, and then I will add liner and mascara, and we'll look at the final product. So this is the finished look, and I think I got my eyes, I thought I had it pretty close. Like in the mirror they look close. I feel like on camera this side looks darker, but I don't know if that's just the way the light is coming down, because in the mirror they look the same. I don't know. For liner, I used the Kat Von D, the brown one that I got in the mystery box. It's Mad Max brown. I didn't realize that's what it was called. That's kind of funny, but. And then mascara is just my Too Faced Better Than Sex. And yeah, that's the finished look. And like, it looks weird with no lips, and like my nose is a little bit shiny, but again, when you put the mask on, that's all that's visible. So it looks like you've got a full face of makeup on, but you don't. And then the inside doesn't get gross and disgusting. I have seen videos where people have done a full face and like really mattified it and set it. But again, like I have to wear, I think it would be one thing if you were only wearing the mask for like 20 or 30 minutes to go in the store, but I literally have to wear it all day. So for me, like I get hot and sweaty under here and my face starts to break out. So I found doing the moisturizing and the mattifying priming down here helps with that. And there's no point in me putting makeup down in here at all because of the duration that I have to wear it. So hopefully this was helpful. And then hopefully you could see what I was doing with the eye tutorial. Like I said, it was requested for me to do this look again. So I'm pretty sure I did it the same way I did a couple days ago. So hopefully that helps. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you're subscribed before you leave. And hopefully I'll see you in another video very, very soon. Bye, everyone.